You smell what the Rock is cooking?
Listen, I'm easy to find. And listen, they can kiss my ass if they don't like it.
Hi. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. It's Nathan back with another video presentation. I hope you're all doing well. Happy Taco Tuesday. It's May. I cannot believe that. Ridiculous. 5 months are into the new year. I cannot believe that. Before we get into the video, there's a few things I need to say up front. I have been diligently working on uploading all the episodes of season 6. So just if you listen to it on Spotify, season behind, I'm almost done uploading it on Anchor via Spotify to go to Spotify. I got another video that's going to be right after this. As you see the title, we're going to go over the the Baltimore Ravens and the Washington Commanders. What was drafted. So just keep that in mind. So, Sean Spencer, what's going on, sir? What's going on, buddy? So this video, we're just strictly focusing on the WNBA preseason rankings. This is opening week of the 2022 WNBA season. But it's been really, really interesting to really see some of this talent being cut from these wonderful 12 teams.
Good Lord, thank the good Lord I am on FCC airwaves. I thank the good Lord. It's hard to take, man.
Before we get into the preseason rankings, there's things I really want to get off my chest about this. We keep saying it. As someone who's still learning and is growing with the league, I understand there's 144 spots. That number is not realistic because of a couple things. One, politics. Number two, most coaches are going to roll with a top 7, top 8 rotation heavy. You got to think, if you're paying 5, 6 players, the other 5 or 6 players, you kind of have to be careful how you spend the money. Unfortunately, I don't like it. I think it's ridiculous. As of yesterday, we had first round picks. We had the 8th overall pick waived from her team. That was Maya Hollingshead. She was drafted 8th overall by the Las Vegas Aces. We're not even what the draft was, 2-3 weeks ago? We're not even at the season. There's no way the 8th overall pick, a first round pick, should be waived. I'm going to continue to say it. I've been on the record. I'm all for expansion to other cities, but we're pulling the cart before the horse. We need to work on protecting first-round picks. We need roster expansion. The salary cap needs to expand. And also, too, there needs to be some type of developmental league behind the WNBA, like the G League. Anthony, what's good, bro? Good to see you. Because there's a lot of good talent. And if you're watching these women, it's a lot of good basketball talent. And I shouldn't see today the Minnesota Lynx cutting 6 players. That's crazy to me. That tells me either they're restructuring contracts or they simply can't pay everybody. Because I know they just gave Nafisa Collier an extension. They paid Kayla McBride, Ariel Powers. So, and then Natalie Chongo. So pretty much your money's tied in with them. I'm just to the point where I can keep crying to the wolves all day. This person needs to be on this team. This person should be on that team. But I blame. It's a lot of blame to go around. But it's just frustrating seeing a lot of good talent being just cut. And real quick, I don't appreciate. There's people on social media and they know who they are, slandering Shanae Gumike's name. Unfortunately, throughout her career, the injury bug has hit her. But when healthy, she's a difference maker on the floor. I don't think because she has a job at ESPN. She needs to give up her spot. No, I don't like that. But I'm gonna get off my rocker on that. I just wanted to just get that off my chest because just to see the amount of talent that's being cut from these teams, and it's good talent. Like we had a rookie of the year from 2 years ago cut from their team. No rookie of the year since the formation of the league has ever been cut from their team. I've never seen that before. That is beyond mind-boggling. But it's politics. Those that were cut, they will be on the team, in my opinion. But these are fundamental issues that have to be addressed before we start expanding to Oakland, Charlotte, Toronto, Philadelphia, Houston. These issues have to be addressed. If we had 6 more teams and we had the same issues, can't keep saying roster expansion. At some point, the fundamental core issues, roster expansion, salary cap, protection of first-round players. Excuse me. I apologize. Those things have to be addressed. But I'm going to get off that. Okay, let me get some water real quick. I'll be right back. All right. Sorry about that, ladies and gentlemen. So, preseason rankings. So, this is my preseason rankings after thinking long and hard, looking at the tape, looking at the rosters, taking consideration, yes, free agency and the draft. I'm going 12 through 1. Some things might change. Some things may stay the same. But I think this was fair. And starting really quick, I'm taking into consideration last year performance, what team record was, free agency, draft, and where I think they're going to be this year. The ranking for I'll go over that. So I'll start with number 12, the Atlanta Dream. The Atlanta Dream last year was not the brightest team last year. Amidst all the issues that they had as a franchise with the whole Courtney Williams off the court incident and then dealing with Kennedy Carter. Yeah, a number of coaches resigning. Mike Peterson stepped down. Nikki Cole went to Baylor. The ship listed starboard port side, and they really had to figure some things out. So this year, their off season, they had to really reset the franchise, completely go apart. They got a GM, Dan Panover from Vegas. They didn't do much in the free agency. They did get Keil Long and Eric Wheeler via trade. I like the draft. You got Ryan Howard, Naz Hillman, who I believe was a steal. You still got Ari McDonald, Monique Billings, Tiffany Hayes. You got Nia Coffey from LA. I still think now that you got a foundation to build around. Because I think Naz Hillman was a steal. And I still think there's some baby steps. But realistically, I'm going to say the Atlanta Dream are going to win 10 games because they gave a lot of training camp contracts. I'm not really showing the roster right now. There's going to be some growing pains. There's going to be some adjusting different styles of play. And I'm kind of curious to see how Coach Wright, I know she'll do exceptionally well with Amanda Frazier as head coach. I do see Ryan Howard being a candidate for rookie, most likely being rookie of the year. It'll be between her and Alyssa Smith, in my opinion. Monique Billings, I do expect her to have a good starting role in Atlanta. She did down the stretch last year. You could see her getting more, definitely being a starter. Erica Wheeler and Keil Long they're going to bring better leadership, and that's going to be good for a young team like Atlanta. So I'm going to say the Atlanta Dream will win 10 games. Number 11, this was a toss-up. You can intertwine, and you can change these teams. It's either one, but I said the Indiana Fever at number 11. They're coming off of a very interesting season, off season to be honest. They finished the year 6-26. And just really quick, the Atlanta Dream only won 8 games and lost 24 last year. So to the Fever, they lost 6 games. They won 6 games and lost 26. Tamika Catchings is no longer the GM. Lynn Dunn took over and kind of overhauled the roster, trading Terry McCallum to Dallas, cutting Kaiser Gondrzik, and in response, also cutting Jantel Lavender, drafting Alyssa Smith, Lexi Hall, Emily S. Tegler, and Queen Enegbo. Interesting draft. Lynn Dunn pretty much said it. She didn't want to teach defense, and she wants a defensive team because that was kind of the struggle last year with the Fever was defense. I think, in my personal opinion, I do think she reached on Lexi and Queen. They're great players coming out of college. Queen coming out of Baylor and Lexi coming out of Stanford. But I had Naz Hillman going to Indiana, and I had them taking a point guard because you have to take consideration with Bria Hartley. Obviously, staying healthy, number one. You know Kelsey Mitchell's going to do her thing. I do predict that Kelsey Mitchell will make the All-Star team this year.
Guaranteed.
You know Tiffany Mitchell's going to get in there too. And also, too, Destiny Henderson. Definitely look to her to really see. They have a big contribution. A lot of people wanted her here in DC, and knowing Coach T, very nitpicky. But that's a whole other subject for the video. So I also see the Indiana Fever winning 10 games. I don't have anyone. I see both of them winning 10 games, the Dream and the Fever. Because there's going to be some growing pains, obviously. And I feel like Indiana, they have the core. I just think I'm concerned about the consistency. It's the consistency that worries me about Indiana. I felt like they had it last year. And now the question is, okay, what do you do about Victoria Vivians, Lindsay Allen, Tiffany Mitchell? You're going to have to get, they're going to get some minutes too. This is nothing new. So I do think that, you're going to have to really, honestly and truthfully, figure out the rotation. Unfortunately, there might be some that may be cut and traded, but I was saying Indiana is going to win 10 games. Los Angeles Sparks, number 10, they also missed the playoffs. They finished, I believe it was 12-20. Injuries hurt them to the core. They lost Nneka Ogwumike for a bit, Chiney Ogwumike, but they did a really good job in the offseason. They got Liz Cambage from Las Vegas. They got Kennedy Carter in a trade for Erica Wheeler. They signed Jordan Canada via free agency from Seattle. They got Katie Lou. And they also selected Ray Burrell. Unfortunately, they cut Olivia Nelson-Dota and Kiana Smith. I think the biggest thing to me is, because obviously your core is Chrissy Tolliver and the Ogwumike sisters. How can you intertwine these new shiny pieces around them? You still got Brittany Sykes. Tay Cooper's going to do her thing. Realistically, I kind of want to see what the offense is how the offense will look. I think that's the key. I think it's how consistent their offense can be. If it stays consistent, I'm gonna say the Los Angeles Sparks. I'm gonna say they'll win 15 games, and they'll sneak in there to the playoffs. I believe that. Next, I want to go to number 9, the Dallas Wings. Last year, got there to the playoffs. I thought getting Terry McCown was big. And they needed somebody, to me, who can help Arike, Marina, Alicia Gray, to get their shots off, especially the perimeter shots. Because no disrespect, I don't think what they drafted with Charlie Collier, and who knows, you might see a turnaround this season. I think it was the way she was being used. Just really that last year draft class, they waived Chelsea Dungy. Unfortunately, I think she's another guard who really wasn't getting the opportunities I thought she should have gotten. But the biggest issue is that rotation, because most likely the starting lineup is Arike, Alicia, Marina, Kayla Thornton, and then Tiara. That's probably going to be your starting 5. I think that lineup will be better because Tiara brings defense, and she would definitely help them get their shots off. So to me, they didn't really make any other moves. They really had no money to make moves. They did give Arike an extension, and also too, like, they didn't lose anybody really in free agency. I still think this is a young team. I think it's time for Vicki Johnson to take the training wheels off and let these girls play. I do kind of feel like she's got to take the training wheels off. So I see the Dallas Wings making the playoffs. I see them winning 17 games. Number 8, the New York Liberty. This was tough for me. I'll be honest, because this was a team that actually almost beat Phoenix to get to the next round of the playoffs. They didn't really have they didn't really do much. They got their coach. They got Sandy Barnadello from Phoenix. And to me, I think the training wheels are officially off for Las Vegas. New York, excuse me. I keep saying Las Vegas. Off New York. They signed Steffi Dolson. I thought was, to me, a good signing. You got Rebecca Allen coming back. Natasha Howard, Sabrina Eskel. The biggest thing is those two can stay healthy. And you got Benijah Laney, all-star. And I think if you get a level of consistency, I think it'll be good. Now, the unfortunate thing is your 5th overall pick, Niar Sabli, going to be out for the season. She had successful surgery today, so thoughts and prayers. Hope she's doing well. And also today drafted Sky Cohn, so she's also going to be out. So that hurts, but that's okay. If, to me, it makes sense because Vegas Seattle did cut Alyssa Kune, and for some reason in New York they drafted centers. So just saying, there's a potential signing right there. But if I see a new coach, they can stay healthy. This New York team can make the playoffs. I'm going to say the New York Liberty are going to win 20 games.
Guaranteed.
I can see that. I mean, they didn't really have to do much. And also, too, Asia Durr's coming back, after her long battle with COVID. It's glad to see she's on the court, getting medically cleared. It's really great to see that. Let's go on to the next team, number 7, the Washington Mystics. I'm scared. I'm just kidding. Realistically, last year we were 12-20. We didn't make the playoffs. We needed everything but the kitchen sink. We needed holy water. We needed exorcism. We needed just about every damn thing. Realistically, last year it was Tina Charles and friends. Not to be disrespectful to Tina, but Tina Charles was the scoring champion last year. Injuries. Unfortunately, everybody got hurt at the wrong time. Maisha got hurt at one point. Natasha Cloud got hurt. To the point where we had one game like almost 5-6 players dressed to play. And we had to go in the off season to reset the culture. Pretty much, kind of figure out what did we want to do? Did we want to, the type of players that we needed that represent the Mystics. Emma Mieseman, she departed for Chicago. She didn't even play last season, which stung, but I understood. I mean, those were Tina Charles and Emma. Tina ended up ends in Phoenix, and now Emma's in Chicago. We did get Elizabeth Williams from Atlanta. We got Tiana Hawkins back from Atlanta. I was surprised that he cut Erica McCall. He also cut Megan Gustafson, and I was surprised by that. He also cut a couple other players today, Lauren Harper and Stephanie Morgova. He cut them as well. It's kind of hard to kind of pick out Coach T in terms of what he's looking for. They did resign Maisha Hines-Allen. To me, realistically, it comes down to this. The health of Alicia Clark and particularly Elena Deladon. This team goes as far as Deladon takes it. Elena Deladon has only played 3 games in 2 seasons, ladies and gentlemen. That's a fact. It's great to see her, that she's doing well and she's getting back out there and she looks good. Alicia Clark looks good out there. It's really predicated on health. My concern is I'm not comfortable with some of the roster moves he's made of recent, and we may need one of those players. I already know what Ariel Atkins, Maisha Hines-Allen, I already know what they're going to do. I already know what Taj Cloud is going to do. They're going to build off their success. But they've also preached defense. this team healthy, realistically, I would say they'll win 18 games.
Guaranteed.
Realistically, because he made it clear. Well, unfortunately, Kristen Williams is out for the season, so Shakira Austin will most likely not be getting minutes. So he's comfortable with his rotation, which I can understand that. I can. So let's go to the Minnesota Lynx, number 6. 12, 22, and 10. They lost to Chicago in the first round. No, the second round of the playoffs, excuse me. I don't really know what to feel to start on this one. They didn't lose it. Well, they made a lot of cuts today. They cut Lachey Clarendon, Krista Dangerfield, Renea Davis. They made 6 players in one day. I just that's crazy to me. They did sign Angel McCoughtry, who I think is a terrific. To me, I consider her a closer. And I think that would be really good. They did sign Odyssey Sims today, so she's coming back after 1 year. But I mean, this would be the roster probably most likely going into opening day. Natalie Chalwa, Rachel Banahan, Bridget Carlton, Nafisa Collier, who's out due to pregnancy, who's actually supposed to be due any day now. Damiris Dantas, Sylvia Follows, Kayla McBride, Angela Cawtrey, Ariel Powers, Jessica Shepard, and then Ozzie Sims. That's most likely going to be your signings. But I thought the Lachey Clarendon cut was very shocking. Some of that I think had to do with her injury. But Crystal Dangerfield, I mean, the rookie of the year, I don't understand. I mean, I get it. Last year she did kind of have she regressed. And I do think some of it had to do with minutes. I don't think she was really given like the full opportunities to show her display what she could do. I kind of take that in consideration. But Minnesota, I think if they stay healthy, I really feel like these group of women, especially in the East, is going to really be tough to play. But I do think without Nafisa, there will be somewhat of an identity not there, because they will need her play down the stretch. But obviously, we don't rush her back. But I'm just saying, in order to compete against certain teams, you need her. But I'll say, look, the Minnesota Lynx will win 23 games.
Guaranteed.
Number 5, the Aces. This is actually my sleeper team to get to the finals. They lost in the semifinals to Phoenix. I still replay that play in my head. I think this is their year to win it. They got Becky Hammond as the new head coach, and then they got a GM in Natalie Williams, and then also too, it's a new roster. Man, roster. Liz Cambage is not there, and to me, they've made it clear this is Asia's team, and they're building around her. They're building around her. To me, Kelsey Plum came off the best year of her career, best season last year. Derek Hamby she's the glue, without question. You still got Jackie Young. You got Raquana Williams. You signed Theresa Plaisance. You got Sydney Colston back there in Vegas. And then you got Maya Holling. No longer Maya Hollingshed. after she was cut, which made absolutely no sense. After you traded for that, let it go, Nathan, let it go. But you got Kirsten Bell. Realistically, to me, I kind of want to see. I already know there's going to be a different style of basketball around with offensively with Vegas, and to me, I already know. I'm just going to go say, but I have Angel Wilson as an MVP candidate for this year.
Guaranteed.
I already know she's going to come back playing with emotion after last year, and I kind of want to see the offense, the style of play, how it's going to look. Also, too, this is their year. This is their year to win it. I'm not saying break this team up after this year, but I think they have the most to prove, and this is my sleeper team to get to the finals. Realistically, I'm going to say the Las Vegas Aces, they'll win 25 games.
Guaranteed.
Number 4, the Phoenix Mercury. As of today, it's now 12, but it's been now 75, 76 days since Brittany Griner has been detained in Russia. I hope she's well. I'm glad to hear that they're going to negotiate for her release. Thank God. She was classified as wrongfully detained, and they're going to negotiate for her to come home, which I'm hoping is soon. But I don't see her being on the court anytime soon. Also, really quick, I want to give a shout out to her wife. Also, she graduated from college, so shout out there to her wife. I can't imagine. I just don't know how. Again, you got to just, to me, situations like this, you got to stay level-headed. You just got to just ask the Lord for guidance, and He would never lead you astray. You just got to just believe and just put your faith and trust, and just know that everything will work itself out. And good thing, I believe she will be home soon. So we're going to take her out the equation. You signed Tina Charles. Obviously, Tina Charles, absolutely. Tina Charles obviously made it clear she's trying to win a ring. I respect that. So look to her and Breonna Turner, to me, taking on a good role. This was the same team that just lost in the finals. They lost 3-1. You still got the same core. You got the Diamond DeShields now. You got her in the trade. And I do think that should help them a lot. You still got Scott Diggins-Smith. And I do feel like with Coach Vanessa Nagard as a new head coach from Phoenix, this is going to be an awkward year, because they're still championship contenders, but it's the preparation, which I already know they've already done that. To me, Macy Williams, who supposedly walked out before being waived out of training camp, and then Maya Dawson. Like, they've got the talent, but to me, they've got a tough schedule at the start of this season. And also, too, there's a lot of questions going into the season with Phoenix regarding the whole situation. It's just awkward. I believe it'll play itself out. But I'll say the Phoenix Mercury, I'll say they'll win 24 games.
Guaranteed.
Number 3, the Seattle Storm. This is Sue Bird's last year. You got Drew Lloyd back on a franchise tag, and you also got Breanna Stewart on a 1-year deal. So you got the core. You got Gabby Williams, who was EuroLeague MVP. Congratulations, Gabby. You got the core pretty much intact. You got Bria in January, where there was a good defensive pickup. Now, because Jordan Cannon left for LA. You got Alyssa. Well, never mind. They cut her. They had Alyssa Kune, but they cut her. So I think a couple things. Biggest thing with Seattle is staying healthy, and you just gotta just grind. As I think getting to the finals is for Seattle going to be tougher this year. Last year, Breanna Stewart was out with Achilles, so that made the difference. I still think that they are championship contenders, but no. We got Las Vegas. You got Phoenix, Chicago, LA, Connecticut. It's a tougher road. It's a tougher road to get to the finals, in my opinion. But realistically, I can see the Seattle Storm outside they'll win 21 games.
Guaranteed.
2 more teams, ladies and gentlemen, and we're going to wrap it up and get ready, and I'll be going live with the next video in just a few minutes. Number 2, the reigning champions, the Chicago Sky. I have to pick my face up off the floor because this team last year was exactly 500, and they won the championship. My money, the teams that they beat to get to the finals, I can't take that away from them. Candace Parker, we all know the champion and the leader that she is. This team looks a little different now. You still got Kalia Copper, Courtney Vandersloot, and Allie Quigley. Unfortunately, Diamond DeShields went to Phoenix, and Steffi Dawson left to go to New York. You picked up Julie Alderman in a trade, and Emma Meese in free agency. Like, they had no picks in this previous draft at all. They really didn't have to. I think they have the most ready team to compete for the championship. They are well equipped to compete. Like, I just kind of want to see can the switch be flipped. But other than that, like, Chicago has all the talent. I say the Chicago Sky $26 games.
Guaranteed.
Number 1, this is my sleeper team to get to the finals, the Connecticut Sun. This team should have got to the finals last year. They won 26 games, but they lost to Chicago. To me, I think the biggest issue is identity. I need to know whose team this is. I felt like at times it was Jonquel's, and then when Alyssa came back, it was Alyssa's. And going into the playoffs, the shooting was nowhere to be found. The MVP was nowhere to be found, Jonquel Jones. I felt like they just didn't know what to do at times during the playoffs. Alyssa's coming back off an Achilles injury. You still got Jasmine Thomas back there. You still got DeWanna Bonner. You got the most improved player of the year, who I think is going to be want to go ahead and say it, MVP candidate Brianna Jones.
Guaranteed.
All reliable. I like the addition of Courtney Williams. I did at first feel like it was a panic signing, but they all wanted her back. And to me, she played a part in them getting the finals 2 years ago. I do feel like they drafted Nia Claudin, so she's another scoring option off the bench. I'm not a fan that they cut Kyla Charles at University of Maryland. I don't like that. That bothers me. But they do have a salary cap issue. Before I started the video, I had to do my Googles, and they had a little under $200,000 in cap. So somebody had to go, unfortunately. But they have a great defense, but when come playoff time, it's just they don't sustain it. Like if they stay healthy, Connecticut has all the tools to win the championship. I predict it's going to be the Las Vegas Aces and the Connecticut Storm in the finals this year. I believe that. I think these two teams have something to prove, in my opinion. That's too early to call that, but that's who I see. I see the Connecticut Sun. I'm saying they'll win 25 games.
Guaranteed.
I would go ahead and say like coach of the year, but that's too early. Like I could see a prediction like Ryan Howard or Melissa Smith being a potential rookie of the year. It's still too early to see like who will be your most improved player. I said Asia Wilson, an MVP candidate. Skylar Diggins-Smith, MVP candidate. Elena Deladon, or Alicia Clark, comeback player of the year. Natasha Cloud will make an all-defensive team this year.
Guaranteed.
The Los Angeles Sparks will make the playoffs.
Guaranteed.
Oh, the Commissioner's Cup. Okay, they're going to get payback for last year, but the Connecticut Sun will win the Commissioner's Cup.
Guaranteed.
I forgot about the Commissioner's Cup. This again, I see the Connecticut Sun winning that because the way they got shellacked by Seattle, but I see Connecticut getting their payback. That's pretty much it. I mean, we'll see as we get close to the season. That pretty much is going to wrap up the video. Y'all let me know your thoughts. The team you're looking for the most, who you think is going to get to the playoffs, who will not. You let me know who your potential awards could go to. But, I mean, May 6th, man, it's opening day. Ladies and gentlemen, it's here. We play the Washington Mystics. We play the Indiana Fever. I can't wait. It's been interesting really getting involved with the media calls. Some of like really kind of hearing the players, and I've had the opportunity to ask a few questions. Like I got to ask Shatoria Walker Kimbrough a question, Tiana Hawkins. I got a question from her. Megan Gustafson before she was cut. And really just for me, it's just been a great opportunity. I just got to thank God for that. He's given me the opportunity to learn and understand how these things work. So I really just been kind of sitting back and learning, taking notes, and from other journalists and other writers during these media calls. So With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, be turned in for future episodes. I've got another video coming out in a few minutes with the Ravens and the Washington football team, going over the draft for both teams. I talk about the Washington Wizards. We'll probably see that video tomorrow. Mystics versus the Fever preview. Orioles and Astros check. And yeah, I think that's pretty much all we got right now. Oh, and also too, we got to get ready. We got to start talking about. We're only we got 5 months until football, so right now it's just training camp. So really nothing is going on that's interesting. But I'll talk about that. I wanted to talk about Ryan Tannehill, but I'll save that for the next video. But closing message. Just continue to be a light and support of people. Always continue to think positive. Always look for the answer. I've always believed that the answer is always, I've gotten my answers through the power of prayer. One thing I've learned is never to settle. I feel like if you settle, you'll never grow exponentially as a person as we're learning this thing called life as it progresses. I had this coworker. We were having this conversation regarding this pandemic and all these other issues, and their tone of, we just need to accept the reality that this is what life is going to be for us, and it'll never get better. And I kind of froze. I didn't really know how to respond to that, because they're one of those type of people that they're very narrow-minded. They have tunnel vision. They don't see left to the right. They believe like this is the way life is. You should live it. And this is just your fate, reality. Just accept it. Nothing's going to change. You can't do this. You can't do that. Like, their opinion is the opinion. And when I got home, I kind of, it was on my mind. Like, I really went to sleep, and I'm like, that's not true. You make life as you see it, you want to be. Life is like a story. You can make it into a one of the most fantastic stories, like a novel, or you can make it to where it's how you make it. This notion that this is what our lives are going to be, and we just have to accept it. I think that's just delusional thinking. I don't think like that. And again, I tell people all this all the time. If you watch the intro, we can be diverse in thinking. We can disagree. We can agree, disagree. It's okay. I've learned that never settle and never accept, oh, this is what it's going to be. Because guess what? You're missing out on the greatness of what you can be as an individual. Like, if someone gave me the opportunity to invest $5, if someone said, if you give me $5, I can turn it into $10, so forth and so forth. You see that money exponentially growing. Nah, I'll just keep the $5. That's that mentality we have to need to get out of and start. What can I do to be a better person? What can I do to push myself to be better? Because there's always a rainbow at the end of a rainstorm. We just have to just continue to stay level-headed, upbeat, positive. We have to stay focused, and we have to sometimes just give ourselves daily reminders. also, too, sometimes it's up to you as an individual. You make the choice of, do you want to take 5 steps forward or take 4 steps back? That's nobody else. That's you as a person. That's the problem. That's kind of the issue I've noticed, where we're so quick to point fingers at this thing, that thing, and not look at ourselves as individuals and take accountability and saying, this is what I need. This is what I should do to get better. My message is, ladies and gentlemen, never settle. Push yourselves to be great, and good things will come. It's obstacles. Look, things are going to be thrown at us every day. I understand that is life, but it's how you handle those things that are thrown at you. That's the key. That's what my closing message is. Now, that's what I want you guys to take away from. But painfully, I'm scared for the Washington Mystics. I'm going to be really, really excited. My goal is to get to 3 games this season. I promise. Shout out to Christy Winter Scott. I promise I get to see 3 games minimum. So, with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, you'll see me in a few minutes with the Ravens and Commanders draft grades. Break down the draft for each team, for these 2 teams, and I will see y'all in a few minutes. Take care.
You smell what the Rock is cooking?
Listen, I'm easy to find. And listen, they can kiss my ass if they don't like it.